back to my channel. It's your girl Natural Squiz, and I'm back with another video. It's a book review about this book. Listen, let me tell y'all something. One thing about me, I get emotionally invested into TV shows, people, books. When I'm in, I'm in. And this book right here had me going through all the emotions. All of them. I have never, this was my first book that I read by Colleen Hoover. Never read any of her books. I really just started getting back into reading last year. This book has been all over TikTok. Everybody, you should read this book. Everybody, this is like on everybody to read list. And I'm trying to figure out why. I mean, I get why, because the book is great. Let me just say that the book is great. But why would y'all want to put me through the emotional distress like that? I didn't need that in my life. I really didn't. I didn't need to be mad at a fucking fictional character. These are not real people, and y'all got me mad at this man like I know him. I'm gonna read the synopsis on the back so y'all can get a gist of what the book is about. Okay. It says, sometimes the one who loves you is the one who hurts you the most. A word. A word. What like Jenna said, the same thing to make you laugh and make you cry. He ain't lie, she ain't lie. Okay? Anyways, it says Lily hasn't always had it easy, but that never stopped her from working hard for the life she wants. She's come a long way from the small town in Maine where she grew up. She graduated from college, moved to Boston, and started her own business. So when she feels a spark with a gorgeous neurosurgeon named Ryle Kincaid, everything in Lily's life suddenly seems almost too good to be true. It says Ryle is assertive, stubborn, maybe even a little arrogant. Ain't no little to it. Ain't no little to it. He's also sensitive, brilliant, and has a total soft spot for Lily. But Ryle's complete aversion to relationships is disturbing. That's a red flag. As questions about her new relationship overwhelm her, so do thoughts of Alice Cordigan, her first love, and a link to the past she left behind. He was her kindred spirit, her protector. When Alice suddenly reappears, everything Lily has built with Ryle is threatened. With this bold and deeply personal novel, Colleen Hoover delivers a heart-wrenching story that breaks exciting new ground for her as a writer. It ends with us as an unforgettable tale of love that comes at the ultimate price. Listen, when I first got this book, I did read the back synopsis. But by the time that I actually sat down and read the book, I have forgot about all of this. Okay, so this is a pretty good gist of what happens in the book without giving too many details. Okay, now I was reading another series by another author that I really fell in love with, and her writing style and this author's writing style is completely different. So when I first bought the book, I sat down and I tried to read it, and I was just like, this is too slow for me. It's not what I'm used to, because I've been hooked on this other series. I had been like, what, 5 or 6 books in the other series when I started this one, and I was like, this is completely different. It's starting too slow. So one day I went to work, and the clinic that I was working at was like a really slow clinic. So I was like, you know what, Shanitra, take your book. Take your book. If it's some downtime at work, just try to read it. Y'all, when I tell y'all, once it actually started to pick up, girl, I was in here just flipping pages. Because what's happening next? Girl, I read this book in like 2 days when I actually sat down and got into it and could actually read it. And the only reason it took me 2 days is because I was only reading at work. I wasn't reading when I came home. If I had read when I came home, I would have finished this in a day. For sure. For sure. It's a great book. Are the characters going to make you mad? Yes. Is it worth the read? Yes. Will you want to fight a character? Absolutely. And if you don't want to fight this man, we can't be friends, because the way he did her, on site. Okay? Okay. I gave y'all the synopsis. If you haven't read the book, y'all might want to exit the video. Make sure you like it first. But exit and then return back when you read it, because I'm going to spoil the book. Because we got to talk about this man. We got to talk about him. We got to talk about him. So basically, Lily, she's the only child. She was in Boston. Her father had passed away, and this was like after his funeral. They were on top of a rooftop when they met. So she was up there. She went to the funeral, didn't give a eulogy for her father. She just went blank, okay? Some of y'all might be wondering why she did that. I'm gonna get to that, okay? So she meet Raul. He come up there. He blowing off steam. They get to chopping it up, you know what I'm saying? They start liking each other, and they come up with this thing called naked truths. Naked truths is basically you telling somebody, you know, the worst parts of you, whatever. And, you know, it's cool because naked truth, I'll share a naked truth, you're gonna share one back with me. So they was doing that on the, what's that shit called? The rooftop, right? So they leave or whatever. They don't talk no more. So Lily, she decided that she was gonna open up a flower shop. Hold on. She decided she was gonna open up a flower shop. Okay, so she bought a building. She getting ready to open up a flower shop. This lady walked by. She happy. She like, you know what I'm saying? It say you gotta help one of the sign out there. Like, I'll come work for you. So the girls start working with Lily. They become friends. Her name is Alyssa. They become friends. You know what I'm saying? And one day, Alyssa's brother comes by the flower shop, and guess who it is? Raul motherfucking ass. So they get to chopping it up again. They figure out they really like each other. So boom, they start dating. Right. Mind you, at the beginning of the book, when they was on the rooftop, this man was too good to be true. He was a real gentleman. She talking about this her type, da. So she already head over heels for this man, right? And he a neurosurgeon.
Money. He got money. Get it.
I ain't mad at sis for that. I ain't mad at he good looking and he a neurosurgeon. I'm not mad at it. Anyways, they get to dating or whatever. But he's like really possessive. Oh, hold on. Rewind. Back to the rooftop. He told her that he's never been in like a long-term relationship. Like, he doesn't want to date. He doesn't want to get married. He don't want to have kids. Like, he telling her all this on the first time they meet on the rooftop, because it's a part of his naked truths. This man, I don't know. I think he in his late 20s. I can't remember. I read the book so long ago, so don't quote me on it. But he of age to where I feel like if you a grown-ass man and you ain't had no successful relationships, none of them work, you don't want to get married, you don't want to have kids, to me, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. Because what's wrong with you to where these people don't want to be in a relationship with you? But once they start dating, they get to chopping it up. They getting a little too flirty, you know. So Alyssa is peeping game, and she like, you don't want to date him. He don't commit. Because they friends now. They best friends. They call each other best friends at this point. She said, you don't want to date him. He don't commit, sis. He don't commit. And he told you that he wasn't with this shit at the beginning of the book. Anyways, you know, when you start to like him, you don't be hearing shit. The blinders is on. Her blinders was on. But anyways, they dating. So, boom, they get to a scene. I think she probably done went through her past life, child. My recall of this book is going to be terrible because I read it so long ago. So, I'm just going off of what I remember. The next time, since I know that I'm going to be recording a video, I'll put notes in the book. But so they chopping it up. They having a date at what's the girl name? At Lily house. Raul done came over. They cooking. They drinking. They done had a little few glasses of wine. They feeling good. Okay. Lily done put the motherfucking, I think it was lasagna or something in the oven. And one of them glass, what's some cooking sheets? Not a cooking sheet. It's not a cooking sheet. A glass pan. One of them. So she put it in the oven, right? They chopping it up. Do y'all know this dumbass man went and took the goddamn pan out the oven without no gloves on. What's the thing? Cooking mitts. Without one of them on. So he take it out, he drop it because it's hot, duh. And Lily get to laughing, as she should, because I would have laughed too, because you stupid. You a stupid motherfucker. You stupid. So he get mad and pushed her hard to where she in the wall, bitch. Slid down the wall. Her head busted open, it's bleeding. Because she laughed at him? Because I laughed at you? Do you know how many times I'm gonna laugh at you if we dated? Because that was stupid. You should have known. You are a neurosurgeon. You should have known that you don't get something out the oven without no fucking mitts on. And you mad at her. And you spazzed. You pushed her. Knocked her the fuck out. Because I think it burned his hand. And that's his hand that he uses to perform surgeries on. Nobody gives a fuck about that. So I'm already mad now. Because I'm like, he did what? To who? When? Yeah. I was already pissed. Because I'm at this point, I'm like, we got to fight. We got to fight. So I think probably before that happened, she probably do give like a background about her mama. So basically, her daddy used to hit on her mama a lot. All the time. And so she was like, you know, growing up, she was like helping defend her mama. Like when her daddy would beat on her mama, she would be like, come in there and try to help her, you know what I'm saying? And she should. But she was like, she said, I never let a man put his hands on me. This man pushed her into that motherfucking wall and had her shit leaking. And guess what she did? Made excuses for the reason that he hit her. I shouldn't have been laughing at him. Well, that is his surgery hand. He does need that to do his job. He does have an important surgery coming up on Tuesday. Why? Let's take a break. Why do we as women make excuses for men when they treat us bad? Even though we know better. We know better. She knew better. She seen it happen to her mother. And she was like, that's not going to happen to me. But when it did happen to her, she did the same thing her mother did. Made excuses and stayed. Why do we do that? Why? I'm pretty sure it's a therapy question. We need therapists. Somebody call a therapist into the book review. Because what? So I was already mad. I'm already mad because why would you do that?
Why would you do that? Huh?
So now he realized what happened. He apologized and And I'm just like, be fucking for real. If you're going to do anything, be fucking for real. That was the first incident. The second incident, I want to say, so they talked about on the synopsis about Alice. So let's give a background about Alice. So when she moved to Boston from Maine, she used to write journals when she was younger because of all the issues that was happening at home with her mom and her dad. She didn't have nobody to talk to, so she used to write these Dear Ellen letters, basically writing letters to Ellen DeGeneres. She used to write these letters, and so she basically, in the book, she finds the letters in a box. They're in like a journal. And so she's reading, like it flashes back in the book to where she's reading, and it flashes back to when she was in high school and she met this boy named Alice. Alice was a homeless boy that went to school with her, and it was like an abandoned house like right across from her to where like the backyards connect so she could see his house. So she noticed that, and it's cold in Maine. It be snowing. Okay, it's the East Coast. So he was in there in the abandoned house. Ain't no lights, ain't no water, ain't no heat, ain't nothing in there. And so she seen him standing over there, and she knew him from school. She felt bad, so she took him like clothes and food, whatever. They get to chopping it up, and basically they end up falling in love with each other. Moral of the story, like that was our first love. Okay, so he ended up like moving away with his uncle because his mama didn't give a damn about him. That's why he was homeless. So he ended up moving away with his uncle so he could finish high school and, you know, go off to the military. Mind you, he was older than her. I think he was 18 and she was maybe 15 at the time. Something along those lines. So, yeah. So he ended his ass too because he got them in the bed together and he beat his ass. And I would have beat my daddy ass because you got some motherfucking nerve, bitch. You got some nerve. Anyways, back. So she found these letters. She reading these letters, whatever. So she moved to Boston. When I was younger, he was saying like, well, I'm going to move to Boston. Like when I get older, like I'm going to move to Boston because everything in Boston is happier or something. Some phrase. I don't remember. I don't recall. It's a phrase. Everything's better in Boston, I think is what it was. So they moved. They lost touch. The girl ended up Lily moved to Boston after college. So they go to a double date. So it's Raul, Lily, Alyssa, and Alyssa's husband. I forgot his name. They don't go on a double date to this restaurant in Boston. Girl, why the fuck was Atlas there? And she was like, I think I seen him. And it was him. What? And so they get there. And they eating dinner or whatever. She thinks she see him. They go to the back. She goes to the back to go to the restroom. And he coming out the kitchen or something. He like Lily. Or she like Alice. What? They end up chopping it up. And Raul's fucking overprotective fucking insecure ass brought his ugly ass back there. And go get mad at them for talking to each other. Be for real. Be for real. So he get the spazzing in. So boom, they ain't talking no more. They separate ways. But anyways, they have an altercation. He end up breaking her phone. And then she leaving, or he left the house, and I guess she was following him, like trying to ask him what was wrong, or I don't remember. Something along the situation. Something along those lines. But he ended up pushing this girl down a flight of fucking stairs. Whatever the situation was, you shouldn't have been mad enough to push her down no fucking stairs, bitch. And then tried to gaslight her. He sat up because she was like, bro, I know he didn't push me down the stairs. And she was like, no, he pushed me down the stairs. You know, when you be like, nah, they ain't do that. They couldn't have did that. And then it clicked. And it's like, this man pushed me down some stairs. Y'all, it clicked for her, and he just kept saying, no, you're imagining stuff. I didn't push you down the stairs. You tripped. For real? Like, this man is crazy. Crazy. He pushed her down a flight of stairs, and at that point, I was just like, I already wanted to fight you before, but now you have to die. You broke her phone. You pushed her down a flight of stairs. You lied and said you didn't push her, tried to gaslight her into making her think that she fell on her own, knowing damn well you pushed her. Then she went upstairs, or he took upstairs one day. That man left for hours. And then, I don't know, something happened. I guess she told Alyssa, like, they wasn't really fucking with each other like that. And, Alyssa kept saying, like, you need to tell her, Raul, you need to tell her. And I'm like, tell her what? At this point in the book, I do remember feeling this. I was like, they gotta be in cahoots with each other. I feel like they playing her. Alyssa know her brother ain't shit. And I feel like, as my friend, if you know that I'm talking to your brother, your cousin, your daddy, whoever it is, if I'm talking to somebody that's related to you and you know that ain't shit, I feel like as my friend, and y'all was calling each other best friends, as my best friend, you should have told me what was good, like, blatantly. Not no beat around the bush, like, hey, you don't want to date him. Like, no. Tell me I don't want to date him, and then tell me the whys, okay? So basically, Rao was like, I'm sorry, like I have a really bad temper. And okay, so when they first met, he told a story about a little boy that he had worked on in the ER who had got shot accidentally. His brother had, got into the gun case and accidentally shot him. So that was the story. So fast forward to after all these times he done hit on her, pushed her down the stairs, broke phones, this, that, and the third. He want to come out and say, oh, yeah, you remember the story I told you about the little boy? Well, I accidentally shot my brother when we were kids. I think he was like 5 and the brother might have been 8 or something like that. Like they were young. He got into his daddy's gun case and shot his brother. Brother died, and he said he was holding the brother's like insides in his hands, and that's the reason he acts like that. Granted, that was a very traumatic issue, but at that point I had felt like he was a sociopath. I felt like he probably did that shit on purpose. I felt like the brother probably did something to him and it made him mad, and he went and got that gun and he shot him on purpose. I don't think it was an accident to it. But if that's what y'all want to go with, Colleen, if that's what you want to write, we'll believe it, but not too much, because I really feel like he killed his brother on purpose at that point. But because your temper is just absolutely too bad. It's too bad. And so she started to feel sorry for him once again, making excuses. Oh my God, this is why he liked this. This is why he liked this, because this happened. Granted, it was traumatic, but then this man said he'd been in therapy since the situation happened. If you've been in therapy since you 5 or 6 and you damn near in your 20s, late 20s probably, you don't think you should have been able to work through that a little bit more, to where you're not spazzing because she do something to make you mad and you want to push her down a flight of stairs because you're insecure? He's obsessive as fuck. That's why none of his other relationships worked, because he's not together in the head. Yeah, you fine, but you're mentally ill. So after all these situations, she making excuses. I'm like, girl, at this point, I'm finna fight you and him, because what are we doing here? Why are we doing this? Why are we making excuses for these men? And they have shown us that they're not shit. So y'all know what this man did? He bought her a motherfucking house. And then he bought it in the same apartment building that he was already staying in with his sister. If that doesn't say, I'm finna lock you up in here, bitch, and keep you hostage, I don't know what does. I don't know what does. Okay. So, after that happened, they moved in. Oh. So, her business, her flower business was doing really good. Atlas restaurant was doing really good. So basically it was like you know how they do Boston's best top 10 entrepreneurs, some shit like that. It was something like that along those lines. But anyways, it featured her flower shop and Atlas's restaurant. And before Atlas had moved to Boston, or when he came back to visit her, I think when her daddy beat him up, he had gave her a magnet that says everything is better in Boston. So she kept the magnet. She moved into Raul's new house, they house together, and she had that motherfucking magnet on the fridge. So he get the Raul drunk ass was in the kitchen. He got the newspaper article. Y'all, do y'all know he told this girl to read it? She came home. She hadn't even seen the article yet. She hadn't even seen it. She read it. And she read about her business. And he was like, no, keep reading. He wanted her to get to the part about Atlas. And that everything's better in Boston. And he started using that neurosurgeon brain and putting 2 and 2 together. The magnet, then after he found the magnet and read the article, found the magnet, he went and found her journals. And that detailed everything about her and Atlas. Okay? So he hot. And he been drinking. He hot. And he already off the fucking hinges without the liquor. So you got the liquor and you already off the hinges mentally. Yeah. So he go and he making her read it. Like, he is forcing her. I think he even pulled her hair at one point and was like, no, read this. And was basically like, you still fucking around with him because why you still got the magnet, da 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 da. Trigger warning. I'm gonna edit that before that. Y'all, he pushed her into the room and tried to rape her. Mind you, she had even talked about her father trying to rape her mother, and she walked in on it, and she got a knife out the kitchen and was about to kill her daddy because he was raping her mama, or was about to rape her mama. And now the man that you supposedly love, or that says that he loves you, that claims that he loves you, is about to rape you. That is sick. That's some sick ass shit. And that was her last straw. So she ended up calling Atlas after that happened. I think he beat her that night too. Ain't no telling. He probably beat her and tried to rape her, knowing him. She ended up calling Atlas. Atlas came like a knight in shining armor. Saved my girl. She was staying at his house for a few days. Basically, they broke up. He ended up going to England or something for something work related. And ended up going out there. And she was with Atlas for a few days. You know, she started being with Atlas and she was like, this is my man. This is my man. This is my man. I'm supposed to be with him. But she was like, but it's so complicated with me and Ryle and da-da-da-da-da. Like, you and Atlas are soulmates. And you sitting over here wasting your time with a man that put his hands on you. Please make it click. Y'all, so he took her to the hospital after the situation where Ryle tried to rape her, and they told this girl she was pregnant with this man baby. The whole time I'm like, kill it. I'm sorry, I believe in abortion. Kill it, because I feel like if you have that baby, you're gonna have to be with this man for another 18 years. Even if y'all are not together, you're still gonna have to deal with him. Kill it. She ain't kill it. She kept the baby. She kept the baby, but she stood her ground on her and Ryle not being together. I'm proud of her. She finally came to her senses. She came to her senses and she was like, I'm done. It took her the whole book, but she was like, I'm done. And I'm glad she said that she was done. She sat down and had a heart to heart with her mother and told her mother what was happening. And, you know, they had this heartfelt moment. I cried. But she came to her senses and she was like, no. I'm gonna keep the baby because I want the baby. She wanted the baby. She was like, I'm gonna keep the baby, but I'm not gonna be with you. And we could try to co-parent, but that's about it. You know, that's all it is to it at that point. But I'm so glad that she made it out, because a lot of women do not make it out of these domestic violence situations, and a lot of these women feel like they have nowhere to turn to. And it's just really sad. And it's sad that we think that we won't be in those situations until we are. So the moral of this story is really to just show grace, because it's so easy to look in from the outside. And I felt like that when I was reading the book. I was like, you know, I'm judging this woman. Even though she's a fictional character, it's a lot of women that are dealing with that. And I'm sitting here on the outside looking in, telling her, you need to leave. You need to leave him alone. You need to leave. Because if you don't leave, he's going to kill you. That's how I'm seeing it in my mind. But I'm not looking at it from her point of view. So, I think it's time that we show grace. Because, you know, we can always say from the outside, that'll never be me, that'll never be me, that'll never be me, until it is us. Until it is us. And she did the exact same thing. So, I'm glad she got out. So her and Ryle end up co-parenting. The book ended with her and Atlas meeting on the street. And they hugged and they went on about their day. So the next book in the series is called It Starts With Us. I already got the next book. I don't know where it is, so I can't show it to y'all. But I already got the next book, and now that I finished this book review with y'all, I can start reading the next book because I'm trying to read 30 books for the year. Wish me luck. So y'all gonna get a lot of book reviews. I hope y'all like this. I hope y'all like my storytelling. The next time I'm gonna take notes with the other books so I could be more accurate about the description of the book, you know, the recall of the book, because I really have forgot. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. I enjoyed reading that book. It was a 10 out of 10, but it's a big ass trigger warning. So they didn't say that on TikTok. They wasn't telling us that it was a trigger warning and it had all of this stuff in there, and I feel like they should have, because emotionally that took me through a lot. I finally recovered, so I'm hoping that it starts with us is on the more beautiful side. Okay, happy endings, romance, you know, save the abuse for somebody else. I don't want to deal with it. Okay, see y'all in the next video. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video. Share this video. Tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your cousin, tell your auntie, tell your uncle, tell your co-workers. Hey, this girl named Shanitra, and Naturals Bliss on YouTube, is dropping some fire videos. Y'all need to go watch. Like, comment, and subscribe. Period. Bye, y'all.